My fiancé said, "I just need one last trip with my ex before marrying you for closure." I smiled and said, "Of course." The next day, I called the caterer and the venue. She learned the truth at her bridal shower in front of everyone. At 24, I was a man working as a lab technologist in Omaha, Nebraska. Deanne Bennett was my mother, 44, for 24 years. The stake was $19,650 in wedding deposits and the $950 monthly mortgage transfer I'd been covering. She demanded I hand my wedding to Jared while I kept paying, and I chose myself. Meyer and I lived near the old market. We liked quiet places and predictable plans. On Saturdays, we'd walk Farnham Street and window shop. Then we'd split a cinnamon roll and talk timelines. Her ex-trip wasn't romantic, not really. She wanted to pick up old paperwork and close a chapter. It still made my stomach twist, not because I doubted her, because I'd learned people use closure as a tool. In my family, closure meant I surrendered first. At Rivergate Diagnostics, my days were clean and measured. We ran samples, verified results, and documented everything. My base pay was $64,900 with overtime when the lab got slammed. I liked the calm of procedures. I liked that a signature meant something. At home, I was the opposite. At home, my parents treated signatures like rubber. They acted like my yes was automatic. For months, I'd been helping them stay afloat. Not a dramatic rescue, just steady support. Every month I sent $950 to cover a gap. I did it because my dad, Scott, sounded tired. He had cut hours at his job. He didn't ask directly, but Mom did. Mom always asked like it was a favor I owed. I tracked everything in a mint green binder. It held the wedding contracts and the payment confirmations. I kept an ink blue fountain pen clipped inside. That pen was my serious pen. I used it for leases, offers, and anything that mattered. Maya teased me for it. "It writes like you," she said. "Too careful," I said. "Careful keeps us safe," she said. 2 nights after the ex-trip talk, I got a call at Axarben Village. I was waiting for Meyer outside a bookstore. A recruiter offered me a job in St. Louis, Missouri. Lead Quality Systems Analyst at Stonehaven Bioworks. The salary was $86,300. The relocation package was $9,800, and they offered a training budget of $2,400 per year. It wasn't flashy, but it was a real step. It also meant we could stop renting. Maya squeezed my hand when I told her. "You earned this," she said. I nodded, but my throat felt tight. I knew the second I said yes, my parents would feel it. They always felt when I had options. The next morning, Mom called while I drove down Leavenworth Street. "You sound happy," she said. "I got a job offer," I said. She didn't congratulate me. She asked a question instead. "Does that mean you'll send more?" she asked. My grip tightened on the steering wheel. "It means I'm building my life," I said. She laughed softly. "That's adorable," she said. "Don't get big-headed." That insult was new and it landed. Then she pivoted to the wedding. "I talked to Jared," she said. "He has ideas." My brother Jared was 26 and always had ideas. He never had follow through, he never had rent on time, but he always had ideas. "I don't need ideas," I said. "I need our plans respected." Mom ignored that. "We'll come by tonight," she said, not asked, decided. That evening they arrived with a bakery box, not a peace offering, a prop. Mom set it on the counter like she owned the space. Dad hovered behind her, quiet. Jared walked in last, wearing cologne too strong. He kissed Maya's cheek like he was performing. "Wedding's going to be legendary," he said. Maya forced a polite smile. "It's going to be ours," she said. Jared waved her off. "Same thing," he said. Then Mom opened her phone and started reading. She wasn't reading notes, she was reading demands. "Jared wants the entrance to be changed," she said. "Jared wants his friends at the head table," she said. "Jared wants a segment to introduce his new venture." Maya blinked. "Your brother wants a segment," she asked. Jared grinned. "It's networking," he said. "It's smart." I kept my voice flat. "No," I said. Mom frowned like I'd broken a rule. "Don't be rigid," she said. "He's your brother." Dad cleared his throat. "Let's just keep peace," he said. That was his usual line. Peace always meant I gave up ground. Maya sat down with her hands folded. "We already signed contracts," she said. Mom's eyes sharpened. "And who paid?" she asked. My jaw tightened. "We did," I said. Mom leaned forward. "And who's been keeping this family steady?" she said. She didn't mean Dad. She meant me. I didn't argue in that moment. I just watched Jared. He sat back like a prince. He didn't say thank you. He didn't ask. He waited. After they left, Maya opened the mint green binder. She flipped to the venue contract. "I feel sick," she said. "You shouldn't," I said. "This isn't you," she said. "It's them." I nodded. "I know." The betrayal started the next day. It came as an email, not a shout. Subject: updated guest count and timeline adjustments. The sender was our venue coordinator, Leela. The venue was a fictional spot called Brickline Depot Events, a renovated warehouse near the riverfront. I stared at the email. We hadn't updated anything. I clicked the thread. Someone using Mom's email had asked for changes. She wrote as if she were me. She even used my full name in the signature. I felt cold. Maya looked over my shoulder. "She didn't," Maya said. "She did," I said. I scrolled down. Mom requested more tables, an extended bar package, and a longer program. None of that was approved by us. Some of it would trigger extra fees. I checked our contract. Change requests required written authorization from the contracting party. That was me and Maya, not Mom, not Jared. I called Leela immediately. The call lasted 13 minutes. I kept my tone calm. "I didn't send those changes," I said. Leela hesitated. "The email came from a family address," she said. "I assumed it was coordinated." "It wasn't," I said. "I need all changes frozen." There was a pause, then Leela's voice changed. "Understood," she said. "I'll revert everything." I asked for confirmation in writing. She sent it within 6 minutes. Subject: confirmation, change requests reverted. I printed the email and placed it in the mint green binder. The ink blue pen underlined the key sentence. "Only contracting parties may approve modifications." My hand stopped shaking. Order returned for about an hour. Then a second email came in. Subject: question about vendor payments. This one was from the Caterer, a fictional company called Hearth and Harbor Catering. The message said they received a call. Someone asked to reroute invoices to Jared. I stared at the screen. Jared didn't have money. He had schemes and explanations. Maya's face drained. "They're trying to take over," she said. "They're trying to attach our wedding to his mess," I said. I opened my bank app and checked. Our last venue payment had cleared. So had our deposit for the photographer. Our deposits were safe but not untouchable. Not if someone convinced vendors they had authority. I called the Caterer. The call lasted 9 minutes. I asked them to note a restriction. "Only emails from my address count," I said. They agreed. They requested a copy of my ID. I sent it. Not because I liked sharing, because I liked locking doors. That afternoon, I walked into a locksmith shop off Dodge Street. It was a small storefront with keys on the wall. This became the signature scene I never expected. I wasn't changing locks for drama. I was changing them because Mom had a copy of my apartment key. She got it years ago. She said it was for emergencies. In my family, emergency meant convenience. The locksmith listened while I explained. He didn't ask for gossip. He quoted $185 for a rekey and 2 new keys. I paid. He scheduled it for the next day. I brought my ink blue fountain pen to sign the work order. The pen glided like it always did, clean and final. That night, Jared texted me. He wanted to talk plans. I didn't reply. I emailed my parents instead. Subject: wedding planning boundaries short and clear. No insults. No emotion. I stated that vendors would not accept changes from anyone else. I stated that any attempt to impersonate me would be documented. I stated that Jared would have no role beyond guest. Maya read it twice before I hit send. "Is this too harsh?" she asked. "It's clear," I said. They replied fast. Mom replied first. "Stop being dramatic," she wrote. Dad replied after. Can you just humor him, he wrote. I stared at those words until my eyes hurt. Humor him. Like my wedding was a toy. The big fight didn't happen at my apartment. I refused to give them that stage. I asked them to meet me at a diner in Dundee, not the same booth nonsense, just a place where I could leave easily. The bill for my meal was $14.60. Mom arrived with Jared. Dad came last, eyes down. Mom started immediately. Jared is hurt, she said. Jared sighed loudly. You're acting like I'm a stranger, he said. You're acting like this wedding is a billboard, I said. Jared smirked. It could help everyone, he said. Mom nodded. We need the wedding to feel bigger, she said. Bigger for who? Meyer asked. Mom's eyes flashed. For the family, she said. Then she brought up the mortgage. You've been so helpful, she said, and we're counting on you. There it was, not gratitude, leverage. I kept my voice low. My help was voluntary, I said. It is not permanent. Dad finally spoke. We've had a tight year, he said. We just need stability. I nodded. You need stability from yourselves, I said. Not from my wedding. Jared leaned forward. So you're cutting us off, he asked. I'm stopping manipulation, I said. Mom's face hardened. You're selfish, she said. That insult didn't surprise me. It was their favorite tool. Maya reached for my hand under the table. I looked at Mom. I know about the emails, I said. Mom didn't blink. I was helping, she said. No, I said. You were pretending to be me. Jared rolled his eyes. You're making it weird, he said. I didn't respond to that. I pulled the mint green binder from my bag. I set it on the table like a boundary stone. Inside were the printed emails. The subject lines were highlighted. Subject: updated guest count and timeline adjustments. Subject: question about vendor payments. Subject: confirmation, change requests reverted. Mom's mouth tightened. Dad's eyes widened. Jared's face changed fast. He didn't expect receipts, he expected pressure. I spoke slowly. You will not contact vendors, I said. You will not change plans, I said. And you will not use my money as a leash. Mom's voice went sharp. So you're abandoning us, she said. I didn't take that bait. I'm ending the automatic transfer, I said. Dad flinched. Jared laughed like it was a joke. You won't, he said. You always cave. That line hurt because it was history. I had caved before. This time I didn't. I already scheduled it, I said. Maya squeezed my hand. Mom's face went pale. She tried a softer tone. Just help until after the wedding, she said. No, I said. Not the answer is no. Just no. One clean word. We stood up. We paid our checks separately. We left. No shouting in the parking area, no scene. Just a door closing. The next morning, the locksmith rekeyed my apartment. He finished in 28 minutes. He handed me 2 new keys. I signed the completion slip with my ink blue pen. Then I went straight to my bank branch near Midtown Crossing. I asked to cancel the recurring transfer. The teller confirmed. She printed a cancellation summary. I placed it in the mint green binder. The binder was becoming a shield. That afternoon, I called an attorney. Her name was Vanessa Hart. She handled family financial disputes and contract interference. I didn't want to sue my parents. I wanted them to stop. Vanessa's consult fee was $320. She listened for 40 minutes. She said one sentence that stuck. You don't need drama to enforce boundaries, she said. She drafted a letter, not a threat, a notice. It stated that any impersonation of me to vendors must stop. It demanded that they cease contacting contracted parties. It also stated that any future interference would be met with legal remedies. Clean language, no insults. I signed the authorization for her to send it. The ink blue pen felt heavy in my hand, like I was finally choosing adulthood. Mom's reaction was immediate. She called me 6 times in 1 hour. I didn't answer. Dad sent a message. You didn't need a lawyer, he wrote. That line made me laugh once bitter. They used me as a bank, but a letter was too far. Jared sent a message too. You're turning into a stranger, he wrote. I didn't reply. I forwarded everything to Vanessa. Subject lines became evidence again. Subject: please stop contacting our vendors. Subject: wedding changes. Subject: Vendor interference notice sent. I kept copies. I didn't share them publicly. I just kept them. The payoff moment came quietly. Brickline Depot Events emailed me. Subject: vendor authorization updated, confirmed. They had added a note. No changes without voice verification from me or Maya. Not a password scheme. Not a secret code. Just a basic identity check tied to our contract. Hearth and Harbor Catering added a similar note. They also removed Jared from any mention. My florist did too. Each vendor thanked me for clarity. No one asked for drama. They asked for a decision maker. At work, I accepted the St. Louis offer. I signed the letter with my ink blue pen. I put the signed copy in the mint green binder. Maya watched me do it. "You look calm," she said. "I feel calm," I said. In the weeks that followed, my family's consequences arrived, not as punishment, as math. Mom called less. Dad sounded older on the phone. They had to adjust their budget without my transfer. Jared, unsurprisingly, didn't step up. He never replaced what I'd provided. He just complained that I changed. I did change. I stopped being manageable. Our wedding stayed ours. We had a small tasting at the venue. The tasting fee was $75. We chose simple food that felt like us. We kept the guest list tight, not because we were hiding. Because we were protecting joy. Maya's bridal shower happened at a friend's apartment near Benson. No string lights, no lake, no big spectacle, just games, snacks, and laughter. Halfway through, a gift bag arrived. No return address. Inside was a note from my mother, not an apology. A demand written in softer ink. It asked for Jared to have a moment during our reception. Maya read it, then handed it to me. She didn't cry. She didn't panic. She just looked tired. "So this is the truth," she said. "This is who they are," I said. That was the moment the hook promised. The bridal shower didn't reveal betrayal by an ex. It revealed a family that wouldn't stop, not even when told clearly. Vanessa advised one more step. She suggested that any future contact go through her office. I agreed. I didn't block my parents out of rage. I blocked them out of necessity. We moved forward. We packed for St. Louis. The moving truck quote was $26.50. We downsized. We sold a couch and a coffee table. We kept the binder and the pen. Those two things traveled in my backpack. In St. Louis, we rented a clean place near Tower Grove. Rent was $15.80. My new job was structured. Stonehaven Bioworks had checklists for everything. For once, my careful nature was a strength. In my first month, I found a labeling gap in a procedure. I corrected it before an audit. My manager thanked me in writing. I saved that email too. Not for revenge, for pride. The wedding happened in late summer. Brickline Depot Events looked warm and simple. We didn't assign roles to keep anyone happy. We assigned roles to honor the people who earned trust. Maya walked down the aisle with steady steps. I waited with hands that weren't shaking. My parents did not attend, not because I banned them loudly, because they refused the terms quietly. They wanted control, not presence. Jared didn't come either. He sent one message to Maya. He said she stole me. Maya didn't reply. We had our day. It wasn't perfect and it wasn't hijacked. It was ours. The consequences spread in ways I didn't orchestrate. Extended relatives asked why my parents missed the wedding. Mom gave vague answers. People heard the vagueness and filled in their own conclusions. I didn't correct anyone. I didn't need to. A few months later, Dad emailed Vanessa. He asked if I'd resume help for a while. Vanessa forwarded it to me. I read it, then closed my laptop. My family had confused help with ownership. Help is a gift. Ownership is a contract. They didn't have a contract. They had an expectation. A year after the wedding, my life looked steady. Maya and I had built savings again. My paycheck was consistent. We paid our bills without fear. We took a weekend trip to the Ozark foothills, just a cabin and a quiet trail, no big speeches, no chaos. Then, unexpectedly, an apology came. Not from Jared, from my mother. It was short and oddly plain. "I pushed too hard," she wrote. "I treated your wedding like a lever." I stared at those words for a long time, then I replied politely and short. I accept your apology, we will keep distance, I wrote. Invoice BDE 1187. Final venue balance. Brickline Depot Events. 05/14/2025 email subject. Vendor authorization updated. Confirmed 05/20/2025 email subject. Notice of representation. Vendor interference. 06/03/2025. I learned that love without boundaries becomes a tool. My rule now is simple. Money never buys access to my life. If I could redo anything, I'd set limits earlier without guilt. I don't hate my parents, but I won't manage their choices. Peace showed up when I stopped negotiating my own wedding, and the quiet life I built is the proof I needed.